Black made a move. Queen g5 check. Pause the video to analyze white's next move. King f1. White is aiming to play rook g1. Queen takes g1 check. King takes g1 and put immense pressure on the opponent. King f8 was chosen by black. Queen b2. Rook a b8. Rook h8 check. King e7. Rook takes e8 check. Rook takes e8. Queen b7 check. King d8. Queen takes d5 check. King c8. Queen takes c4 check. King d7. Queen takes f7 check. Queen e7. Black is struggling to keep up. Let's go to the next game. White played on a4. Pause the video to spot black's next move. On h4. King f1. On f3. King e1. Rook b1 check. King d2. On g3. Black is planning to play pawn takes f2 and gain a significant edge. Pawn takes g3 move preferred by white. Pawn takes g3. King e3. White might go for pawn takes g3 and increase their advantage significantly. Pawn g2 played by black. Rook a6 check. King d5. Rook g6. Pawn promotes to queen at g1. Black is planning to play queen e1 check. King f4. Queen e5 check. King takes f3. Queen e4 check. King g3. Rook g1 check. King h2. Queen h1 mate and establish a winning position. Rook takes g1 move preferred by white. Rook takes g1. Pawn b6. Black is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game. Black played King h7. Pause the video to figure out white's next move. Queen f7 check. King h6. Black is looking to play queen f1 check. King c5. Bishop e3 check. Knight takes e3. Queen takes f7 and dominate the board. Knight f6 move preferred by white. Queen e2 check. King c5. White wants to play knight g8 mate and seize the initiative. Pawn g4 was chosen by black. Queen h5 check. King g7. Queen takes g4 check. Queen takes g4. Knight takes g4. King f7. King d6. Bishop g3. King d5. Bishop e1. Knight takes e5 check. King f6. White is dominating the board. Let's go to the next game. Black played rook a5. Pause the video to spot white's next move. Rook d8. Rook a6 check. Rook d6. White considers playing rook takes a6. King h7. Pawn promotes to queen at a8. King g7. Rook a7 check. King h6. Queen h8 check. King g6. Queen takes f6 mate and seize the initiative. Rook a2 move preferred by black. Rook d7 check. King g6. King d6. On f5. King c6. White is looking to play rook d6 check. King f7. King b7. King e7. Rook a6. Rook b2 check. Rook b6. Rook a2. Pawn promotes to queen at a8 and seize the initiative. King f6 was chosen by black. King b7. White is planning to play pawn promotes to queen at a8. Rook takes a8. King takes a8 and gain a significant edge. King e6 played by black. Black is looking to play. King takes d7. King b6. King e6, and take decisive advantage. Rook d8 was chosen by white. Rook a3. Pawn promotes to queen at a8. White is setting up to play. Queen takes a3. King f6. Rook d7. King e6. Queen e7 mate, and increase their advantage significantly. Rook takes a8 was chosen by black. Rook takes a8. King d5. White has a decisive advantage. Let's go to the next game. White played. On c5. Pause the video to find out black's response. On the5. On h5. On a4. Black is aiming to play. On a3. On c6. On a2. On c7. King d7. King d5. King takes c7. Pawn takes g6. Pawn takes g6, and establish a winning position. Pawn takes a4 was chosen by white. Pawn takes a4. Pawn takes g6. Pawn takes g6. Pawn c6. On a3. King f4. On a2. Black considers playing. Pawn promotes to queen at a1 and sees the initiative. On c7 move preferred by white. White intends to play. Pawn promotes to queen at c8 check and take decisive advantage. King d7 played by black. Black considers playing. Pawn promotes to queen at a1 and sees the initiative. King g5 played by white. King takes c7. King takes g6. King d6. King f5. Pawn promotes to queen at a1. Black's idea is to play. Queen e5 check. King g6. King e7. Pawn g5. King e6. King h6. King f5, and take decisive advantage. King e4. White has no response. Let's go to the next game. Black made a move. Pawn g4. Pause the video to find out white's response. Black considers playing. King b8. Pawn b6. Rook h5 check. King b4. Rook h8. Rook a2. Pawn g3. Pawn a7 check. King b7, and put immense pressure on the opponent. Rook d2 played by white. Rook h8. Pawn b6 check. King c6. Rook c2 check. King d7. Pawn a7. White is aiming to play. Rook c7 check. King d6. Rook c1. Pawn h2. Pawn b7, and put immense pressure on the opponent. Pawn h2 move preferred by black. Rook d2 check. King e6. Black might go for. Pawn promotes to queen at h1 and increase their advantage significantly. Rook takes h2 was chosen by white. Rook takes h2. Pawn b7. Rook a2 check. King b6. Rook b2 check. King c7. Rook c2 check. King b8. King f5. Pawn promotes to queen at a8. White considers playing. Queen a5 check. King e4. Queen e1 check. King d3. Queen d1 check, and dominate the board. On g3 white is dominating the board. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. Queen takes e6. Pause the video and try to predict white's next move. Rook b1. White might go for. Rook b8 check. Queen c8. Rook takes c8 mate, and gain a significant edge. Queen c8 move preferred by black. Queen h5. White is preparing to play. Queen d5. King e8. Queen g8 check. King d7. Queen takes g7 and seizes the initiative. On e6 played by black. Queen f3. King g8. Rook b7. On d5. Black considers playing. Queen takes b7 and take decisive advantage. Rook e7 was chosen by white. White is planning to play. Queen h3. King f8. Rook f7 check. King e8. Rook takes g7. Queen b7. Queen h8 mate and gain a significant edge. Queen d8 was chosen by black. Black intends to play. Queen takes e7 and establish a winning position. Rook takes e6 move preferred by white. Bishop h6. Rook takes f6. Bishop g7. Black's idea is to play bishop takes f6 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Rook f4 played by white. White is planning to play. Queen h5. Queen h4 check. Queen takes h4. Bishop h6. Queen takes h6. On c4. Queen h7 mate and seizes the initiative. Queen d6 played by black. On g3. White is looking to play. Queen h5. Queen takes f4. Queen takes d5 check. King h8. Pawn takes f4 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Queen takes g6 move preferred by black. Queen takes d5 check. King h7. King g2. White wants to play. King h3. King h8. Queen takes c5. Pawn a6. Queen f5. Queen c6. King h2 and seizes the initiative. On a5 played by black. King h3. King h8. Queen takes c5. Queen e6 check. White is in a commanding position. Let's go to the next game. Black made a move. Bishop takes b7. Pause the video to figure out white's next move. Bishop takes g7 check. King h7. Black is planning to play. Rook d7. Rook e1. Rook takes f7. Rook takes e3. Knight d5. Rook e4. Rook takes g7. Knight takes g7. King takes g7 and increase their advantage significantly. Pawn g5 was chosen by white. White is aiming to play pawn g6 mate and gain a significant edge. Pawn takes g5 was chosen by black. Pawn takes g5. Bishop e4. Black intends to play knight takes f1 and increase their advantage significantly. Rook f6 move preferred by white. Rook d1 check. King f2. Rook f1 check. King takes e3. Knight d5 check. King takes e4. Knight takes f6 check. Bishop takes f6. Rook f2. Pawn g6 check. King h6. Bishop g5 check. King h5. Pawn h4. King g4. Knight f4. Rook c2. Bishop e6 check. King g3. Pawn g7. Rook c7. Pawn promotes to queen at g8. White is preparing to play. Bishop d8 check. Rook g7. Queen takes g7 check. King f2. Queen g2 check. King e1. Queen e2 mate and increase their advantage significantly. Rook takes g8 was chosen by black. Bishop takes g8. Rook c5. White is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game. Black played Rook d8. Pause the video to figure out White's next move. Rook a1. Queen c4. Rook a7. Queen c1 check. King h2. Bishop takes e5 check. On g3. White is aiming to play Queen takes f7 mate and take decisive advantage. Bishop c7 was chosen by Black. Queen takes c7. Queen takes c7. Rook takes c7. Rook d7. Black wants to play Rook takes c7 and take decisive advantage. Rook c6 move preferred by White. King e7. Knight e5. White is setting up to play Knight takes d7 and establish a winning position. Rook b7 was chosen by Black. Rook a6. King f6. Black is setting up to play King takes e5 and dominate the board. Knight f3 played by White. On h5. King g2. King g6. On h4. King f6. Knight g5. White might go for Knight takes h7 check and secure a stronghold in the game. King g7 move preferred by Black. Rook d6. Rook a7. Knight h3. King f6. Knight f4. White is setting up to play Knight takes d5 check and dominate the board. King e5 played by Black. Black considers playing King takes d6 and secure a stronghold in the game. Rook d8 move preferred by White. White is aiming to play Rook h8. King d6. Rook takes h7 and put immense pressure on the opponent. On h6 was chosen by Black. Knight takes h5. King f5. Black's loss is confirmed. Let's go to the next game. Black played. On h5. Pause the video to spot White's next move. Black might go for pawn takes g4 and establish a winning position. On g5 played by White. White considers playing. On h4. King b5. King takes d5 and put immense pressure on the opponent. On h4 was chosen by Black. On h3. King b5. King takes d5. King b4. On e4. King takes b3. On e5. On a4. On e6. On a3. On e7. On a2. On promotes to queen at e8. White is looking to play Queen e5. King c2. Queen a1. King d3. Queen takes a2 and establish a winning position. On promotes to queen at a1 played by Black. Queen b5 check. King c2. Queen c4 check. Queen c3. Queen takes c3 check. King takes c3. On c6. On takes c6 check. King takes c6. King d4. King d6. King e4. King e6. King f4. King f6. King g3. King takes g6. King f4. King h5. King e5. King takes h4. King e6. Black is struggling to keep up. Let's go to the next game.